How's it going, guys? Jeff with the Motor Mindset channel here. Today we're going to show you how to clean your rusty motorcycle gas tank. We're going to be using vinegar on this. It's cheap and it is effective. So I will bring you in and I will give you a look at what this tank looks like inside. This gas tank is off a 1967 Yamaha R1, but the method I'm showing you today will work for any motorcycle with a steel gas tank. Will not work with aluminum, but if you have an aluminum tank, you shouldn't have a rust issue in the first place. That's our fuel level dipstick. That's kind of unique to Yamaha in the 60s. But I'm going to bring inside here. It's not terrible, but there is some scaly rust. This bike sat for about 12 years with gas in it. So there is some scale on the bottom. It's not so bad on the sides. Kind of tough to see. The sides don't look as bad, but what we're going to do is, first we're going to take our fuel petcock. We're going to remove that. The reason for removing this is vinegar eventually will start to eat at aluminum, and we don't want that. So we're going to work on pulling this off, and then we're going to plug up that hole with a cork. We've got our petcock off. Next, if you hear that, that's all that rust scale and stuff that's broken free. So I'm going to bring that outside, shake that off, and get as much of that debris out of there as possible. And after that, we can work on plugging our holes here. Next up, we're going to start filling our tank with vinegar. I'm going to dump a little bit in first, check for leaks, and then keep going. If you spill any on the paintwork, you are going to want to wipe that off as soon as you can. Just going to take a look, see if we have any leaks. It's looking okay. So far, so good. I'm gonna keep going. I've got the tank filled to the brim with vinegar, just enough room to get that cap to thread in there. I did find a little bit of a leak in the cork. It's just a very slow drip, so I do have it sitting on a bucket here. I'm going to let this sit overnight. I'll probably let it sit for a full 24 hours, and that'll really start to eat that rust away. So I will bring you back tomorrow, and we will see what our tank looks like inside. It's been about 72 hours now. I've been checking on it periodically. I think it's time to finally drain it here again and see what it looks like. So we can get that cork popped out of there. Nice. There we go, get a little vent. Not sure if we can see inside yet. I'll bring you back when it's all drained out here. Looks like we're making a lot of progress. We still have some scaly junk on there, but I noticed most of that stuff actually just kind of scratches right off. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a handful of washers and put it in the tank with a little bit of vinegar. I'm not going to fill it this time. And I'm just going to shake it around for a while and knock some of that stuff loose. And I'm going to keep repeating that process. And hopefully we can get that cleaned up. The reason I'm going to use washers for this instead of nuts or anything like that is washers have such a flat edge on them, it'll kind of knock that stuff off. Plus, if you use a nut or something like that, if you use a bigger one, when you shake it, you might risk denting the tank from the inside, and that would be no good. So, just going to dump all these on there and add a little bit of vinegar and shake it around. This is what we've got after a few minutes of shaking around and draining our vinegar out and kind of flushing it. I've got some more flushing to do, but we're down to shiny metal on about 99% of it here. Down the spine, there's still some flakes, but I'm going to keep shaking it around here and draining it and flushing it, and I think we will have it. Alright, we've got our tank all flushed out. We got it about 98%. There's still going to be a couple of really stubborn spots that you're just not going to be able to get, especially up on the spine. But that's going to be just fine. Eventually, if they do flake off, the strainer and the petcock will catch it, or if you've got an inline filter, that'll also take care of that. But we are down to nice, shiny, clean steel in there. So next up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up some water with some baking soda to neutralize the vinegar. And after that, I'm going to fill it up with a tank of premix fuel to kind of coat the whole thing in oil, give it a little shake, and make sure I get it on the top of the tank and everything. If you wanted to, you could proceed with a tank lining kit, and then you'd follow their instructions. They usually come with a cleaner and then a sealer kit. So I'm going to call it on this video. If you guys have any questions or anything, please let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. And if you need to get a hold of me, the email is motormindset1@gmail.com. Thanks for watching.